Hi, my name is Jason Abrams, and I want to talk to you about a course that Brian Gubernick originally wrote and that I've adapted called Things I Learned from Gary Keller. You see, Brian and I have been lucky enough over our career to be coached and mentored by who we believe to be the Steve Jobs of residential real estate. Now, why do we say that? Well, there was a lot of tech companies, but there was really one guy credited for changing the way that the consumer uses technology, and that was Steve Jobs. Not unlike him, Gary Keller has absolutely changed the way that the consumer thinks about realtors and the way that realtors think about the residential real estate business. A lot of us went from being real estate agents to being business people under his tutelage. I got to tell you, when I think about the last 20 years of my career, there's a lot of things that I'm grateful for. You see, I grew up at Keller Williams from when I was 19 years old. I was a team leader at 21, and I have been an OP for years now, and I got to tell you, I haven't stopped learning. You see, every day I find myself feeling a little less like a failure in certain ways, but a lot more like a failure in others. And every time that I've had a problem or that I've hit a ceiling or that I've been just, not clueless, but maybe just scared of the next step, Gary's been there. He's been there for both Brian and I, who were business partners, and he helped mentor us from 1 location to 4 locations. And he mentored us from what we would call small businesses to what I would think of today as a really big business, but more importantly, a really big life. You see, I've always been decent at what goes on in my real estate company, and I've always had a harder time at home. How do you be a father? How do you be a husband? And then how do those things work in concert with the businesses that we're trying to grow? And amazingly enough, Gary didn't shirk the responsibility of helping me on that side. See, he supported me personally and professionally. So what Brian and I did is we sat down with all of our notebooks. Now, if you're anything like me, every time you go to a KW event, you leave with all these pages of notes, and then you go back and maybe a little of it gets implemented, but there's amazing bits of gold throughout those books that you just really don't think about again. When we started to go through them, we were amazed at how much content there was, and we put them all on a whiteboard, all these amazing nuggets that we had taken directly from Gary. Then we went through and we started to cross them out, because if we didn't, it would have been a 15-hour course. And what we came up with was a 3-hour course that's probably the most transparent and riveting look at who I think is the Steve Jobs of real estate and how he's impacted our lives. Now, the course is a little bit strange because you can't be in business with someone like him and not have a little weirdness factor. We're going to cover all the way from how to set goals, to how to look at your P&Ls, to how to set up your companies, to maybe even how to be a better dad, maybe how to be a better friend. We're going to cover all of it because Gary doesn't just stop on the business side. He insists on giving you a holistic solution to the challenge that is life. As he tells us, the truth is there's too much to know and there's only so much time. And there's too much to have. And so you need to have a compass to know what to do with your time and then which things are worth having. And we're going to provide that. I don't think I've ever been more excited about teaching a course. Often it's just my content. In this case, this is Brian Gubernick, myself, and Gary Keller's content. I don't think there's ever been a better class, and I can't wait to come to your office to teach it. I hope to see you soon.